What's going on, everybody? Welcome back once again to Trash Film Home Video, where today we are going to be ranking the Friday the 13th films. Now, I've never really wanted to do ranking videos just because I made this channel to talk about stuff that I want to talk about. I have people that I'm friends with that are into horror because horror is like okay to like now, but they're not like, really into it. So I come on here to talk about the stuff that I can't normally talk about. I'm 42 years old, so I've been talking about Jason, Freddy, Chucky, all these guys for a long time. And, you get tired of talking about stuff like this. But it is a really good way for you guys as viewers to kind of understand, kind of be able to have a baseline for my tastes. And you can say, oh, I think our tastes would line up really well. So, and before I do any of this, let me just say that two of these films I've only seen, one of them I've seen one singular time. One of them I've seen maybe like 2 or 3 times. Now, I'm going to revisit these eventually, and if they change in my list, then I'll do a revision video and we'll talk about it then. But before I make this video like 3 hours long, because I like to yap my jaws, I'm gonna get right into it. And we're gonna start at the bottom at number 12 with the one that I have only seen the one single time. And why? Because I absolutely hated it. Now, I watched this when it came out on DVD, I believe. I rented it, I think I rented it from Blockbuster. And as the years have gone on, fans have gotten younger. These, movies like this, the remakes are ones they grew up with. So these have started to garner a little bit, a lot of the remakes have started to garner a little bit more respect. Especially, this is one of kind of the earlier ones. And looking back now after all the other remakes, apparently it's not so bad. But for me, I didn't like Jason in this. I didn't like the characters. We were at a time in movies where, especially slasher movies, where we didn't make people likable. We made them unlikable because we wanted to see them get killed, which is fine, and I'm into that if I'm in the mood for it. But I have to be in the mood for it because it gets old very quickly. After a few movies doing that, you kind of get tired of it. I wanted somebody in the movie to I didn't like any of these sons of bitches. I didn't need the whole bit about the underground tunnels. Anyway, that's my number 12. Number 11. This one, I've actually shot this video twice, actually more than that. But this one, the first time I shot it, was a little higher on my list. And as I would go, I'm like, wait a minute. I like this one better than that one, and this one better than that one. So I had to redo it. And so anyway, at number 11, we have number 7, The New Blood. I like that they tried something different with the telekinesis. We got a good Jason look in this one. Kane Hodder, obviously. There are things to like, but this one just didn't land with me, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the telekinesis bit, but as the years have gone on, this one has really kind of fallen down my list. So that's number 11. And at number 10, this is one that I've only seen a few times, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. And I do need to revisit it. I also need to revisit it because I don't know if I have one of the messed up discs. It's probably too late to figure it out now and get a replacement if it is one of the messed up ones, but oh well. Anyway, it's part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. I've only seen it a few times. There are things I like about it. There are things I don't like about it. It's got a lot of great effects and things, and I commend them for trying something different. But ultimately, it just sort of falls flat for me. Maybe it's because Jason's not really in it. I mean, we did come here to see Jason. Number 9. These next two are kind of neck and neck, and they can kind of go either way because they're very kind of similar-ish, not in subject matter but tone. So number 10 is, wait, is it? No, number 9. Number 9 is Jason X. You know, this is the point in the franchise where they were just like, this is ridiculous, let's just have some fun. So they did. I mean, David Cronenberg is in this. Come on, that's why. He just wanted his machete back. It's okay, guys. He just wanted his machete back. The only thing that in this that I was not a big, huge fan of, I mean, I'm not a big, huge fan of Jason X. It's fine. It's all right. I can watch it. It's fun. But the one thing that I really didn't care for, and this is going to get me probably a lot of hate, is the look of Uber Jason. At the time I was working in, this was before the movie actually came out in theaters. I was working in a video store, and we got a big cardboard stand-up of Uber Jason. We were like, what the is this? Space Jason. We called him Space Jason because we knew the next movie was in space. And Space Jason. Yeah, that's what we came up with. I don't know if it was because of that standee that just looking at it all the time made me really like, I just didn't like it. I thought it was the corniest, cheesiest, goofiest looking thing I'd ever seen. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. In at number 8, Freddy vs. Jason. As I said, these two can probably be interchanged at any moment just because they are kind of similar in tone. They're kind of goofy. This one's a little bit more, I guess, it's got a little bit more of a serious tone, I guess. It's definitely a little more horror spookiness to it. I don't know. But it's also basically a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's not really a Friday the 13th movie. It's definitely got more of a Freddy feel to it. So, yeah. 8, Freddy vs. Jason. In at number 7, I believe this is the first Friday the 13th film I ever saw on television, Part 8. I like Part 8. It's extremely 80s. Yes, as in Part 9, we're missing a lot of Jason. In Part 8, we're missing Manhattan. We didn't get a lot of Manhattan in this. We wanted a lot of Manhattan, but we got Jason on a boat. That's okay, because the Jason on the boat bit was pretty fun. Not gonna lie. Liked it. So, that's where this one goes. In at number 6, it's Part 6. It's Part 6. I feel like this is kind of... 5 was definitely sleazy, but we definitely were not taking ourselves seriously in that one. And this is, I think, where kind of like the goofiness kind of came in a little bit. This is where we got little hints of silliness in Part 6. I mean, you know, we get Frankenstein zombie Jason in this one, who's, you know, woken up by a lightning bolt, for God's sake. There's even a 007 James Bond reference in the titles in this. Like, what? But great soundtrack. Yeah, I love Part 6. All right, in at number 5. In at number 5 is number 5. Number 5, yeah. I love A New Beginning. Even when I first watched it way back in the day, and it wasn't actually, it never bothered me. And I didn't know why it bugged people so much. I mean, for the entire movie, you thought it was Jason. It's not like they played a trick on you. You just weren't in on the joke yet. And then they let you in on it. It's like people got mad about it. I don't know. But I really love this one. It's super sleazy. I mean, we all know why people love this one. Now, this is not, I just wanted to show this since we're talking about A New Beginning. This is actually a DVD of a live commentary that was done at Cinema Wasteland. I was actually there at this commentary. I didn't stay the whole time. Wasteland's kind of crazy if you ever go. Well, I haven't been there in years, so I've heard it's changed. But it's wild. So there's always stuff going on. So I was in and out. But the next year, I think it was the next year, they had this available. Probably not supposed to. sell these. I don't remember where I got these. I don't know who made them, but the commentary was moderated by a friend of mine, Art Edinger, and Michael Felcher from Red Shirt Pictures, and it's it's something. Well, listen, probably most horror conventions, but at Cinema Wasteland, people start drinking at like noon. So like by the time this probably happened, which was in the evening, people were sauced. And we're about to watch Friday the 13th Part 5 with Danny Steinman, who was a wild man at the time. So, but this was a lot of fun. I wish there was a way to be able to like, be like, here, go buy it here, but you can't, I'm sorry. All right, number four, Part 3. How can you not like Part 3 with all this stuff? Come on, that's great. Also, we get the introduction to the mask. I actually like this Jason. I like the way that he looks. You know, I don't know. Part 3, there's not much I can say about it. Like, it's good. I enjoy it. All right, in at number 3, Part 2. I really love Part 2. I feel like they upped the ante a little bit with the gore. It was kind of, similar-ish to the first one in tone and kind of the tropes and all that. But I usually end up watching this one more than the first one for some reason. But I do believe that the first one's a better film. All right, so we're down to the last two. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the last two in one go. And I'm gonna do Part 2, my number 2 pick on this side, my number 1 pick on this side. You ready? Yep. The original lands at number 2 on my list, and Part 4, the final chapter, lands in at number 1. This is fairly typical for people my age. We really liked Part 4. There's a lot of things to like. I mean, you've got a kid who's basically wants to be Tom Savini when he grows up. He's got masks everywhere. Obviously, Tom Savini did do the effects for this. So anything with Savini's name on it, we were just clamoring for. This is a classic. This will never be sort of trumped in its, I don't even know not trumped in its, it's a classic. You can't ever kind of beat a classic. But in rewatchability and things that I enjoy, it's definitely Final Chapter. We got people jumping through windows, the end bit with the machete and the sliding down. Love it. So, number 1, Friday the 13th, Final Chapter. Yeah, that's it. That is my list. That is my Friday the 13th franchise ranking. Let me know what you thought. What's your number 1? What's your bottom? Tell me in the comments. Like the video if you're into it. And I appreciate you guys for watching once again. And, we'll see you next time. Later.